Hello Gemini, Turquoise Tarot here with your reading for 17. Thank you so much for your patience in waiting for this reading. If you're interested in a private reading, please know I'm offering specials right now. For $2, you can get a 3-minute, one-question reading. If you're interested, I'll post a website and email address in the information box below the video. Also, let me know in the comments if you plan on celebrating this year. Happy to those of you who do celebrate. If you have any special plans or if you plan on dressing up, let me know. I know myself, I'm planning on having a small get-together here and probably just, I don't know, dressing up. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll wait and see as the time gets closer, I guess. So with the announcements out of the way, let me go ahead and just focus on your reading here. We're going to do a general reading first, and then we're going to look at love for singles and couples. I'm sorry if you see glitter. There's glitter on my hands. The kids were doing crafts, and yeah, it's really hard to get out, you know? Okay, what are the general messages for Gemini for the month of October 2017? The general messages for Gemini for the month of October. I'm feeling business strong. Let's see. Ace of Swords, the High Priestess, Ace of Rods, 2 aces, that's pretty interesting. 4 of Cups, Page of Cups, the World, Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Pentacles, and the Moon. At the bottom of the deck, overall energy is the Emperor. Yeah, kind of had the feeling like taking care of business this month. You're coming up, I feel this is your energy as the Emperor. It's like the overall energy for the reading. And the Emperor is someone who basically establishes the boundaries and the rules and the policies, the law of the land for his complete empire. He's the one who creates the rules, and he's also the one who punishes those who do not abide by them. So sometimes this Emperor can be somebody who can be a bit critical, maybe too, I don't know, I want to say not giving enough feeling to a situation, or not really feeling it in your heart per se, kind of looking at things with a more critical, stern eye in your life. I want to say for some of you, this is a matter of maturing, and it's also a matter of understanding that now you're in a new place in your life, and what you thought what happiness should look like or what would make you happy, it's like the fundamentals of what you consider success and happiness are changing. What was before, it's almost like it's not the same. And that's what I see with this Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands with the High Priestess here in the center. It's almost like new beginnings mentally and emotionally, and finding passion in things that maybe you didn't try before or haven't considered before. Finding happiness, optimism, finding your creativity, finding your passion, and finding clarity through that process. Yeah, reestablishing rules for your life. What makes me happy, what doesn't, what has served its purpose, what has not, what do I need to explore more of? These are all things you're looking at with a very critical eye this month, okay? And the Page of Cups in the very center, this is a young boy, and he wanders upon this cup on the beach, and he peers inside, and there's this cute little fish that pops out and pleasantly surprises him, you know? So this card is about getting in touch with, for you in the reading, the card is about getting in touch with that inner spirit again, you know, finding joy in new ways, in new things, and exploring new avenues, because it's in that you come across pleasant surprises. I also want to say, because the Emperor and the Page, it's almost like the Emperor is looking at this page, and for me that's saying, again, I know that it's good in the sense that you're looking at things in such a critical way, because it allows you to be more objective and really, you know, pan out, okay, what works for me and what doesn't. But don't neglect your emotions, don't neglect your heart. And I also want to say be patient with yourself, because again, this is a young individual. So along the way, You're going to make mistakes. You're going to come across bumps in the road. And that's okay because that's life and it's meant to be that way. Don't think you're a failure or don't assume the worst because things aren't perfect right away. Okay? I kind of feel like you're ending a chapter in your life. I certainly see that, and that's kind of what I've been discussing. But I want to emphasize it a little bit more because I want you to understand that I see a major chapter closing. And when I say I see you re identifying yourself with new passions, new ideas of what success are, new ideas of what happiness looks like for you personally, these are major shifts that ultimately are changing your course, right? The Wheel of Fortune saying you've ended a cycle successfully, you've completed something, you have matured, you have graduated, and now it's at a point where we're rediscovering. It's like I want to say every so many decades, and sometimes it's every decade or every 5 years. I mean, especially when we're younger, we go through these periods where we um, like a big transformation. We grow out of something and grow into something new. And sometimes it's very subtle and we don't really recognize when it happens. And then sometimes it's major shifts, like going from being single to being married, or going from being, uh, just a couple to having children. I mean, it can be something like a significant shift. But for you, this is, I want to say, more internally. It's more about, okay, I've gone through a major phase. I've understood something about myself, and now it's time for me to re-identify myself and re-explore myself where I'm at today. And this is about your independence too. I see a strong sense of independence here. Nine of Pentacles. This female, she's very independent. I feel like you've been waiting for change. Maybe you've felt stuck. You've felt, you see with the Four of Swords here, this guy, he's just kind of waiting around. The three options in front of him, he's not too happy with. But the fourth cup above him is saying there's a gift coming in. There's a blessing here somewhere. The Wheel of Fortune saying, it's a major shift with the world and the Wheel of Fortune here. This is major shift happening, and we have two major, not major, I'm sorry, two aces, and we end with the Moon. The Moon is all about that mystery. The Moon is mysterious. It's romantic. It's sometimes it can give us a false idea of what's there. Like, have you ever looked out into, I don't know, outside at dark, in the dark, and you think there's something there, but you're not sure because it could be a shadow and you're not sure what it is. It's not like in the daytime where you can really see what's out there. So with the Moon card here, it's almost like I think that there's little things that you see as you look out into your future, and you're not sure what they are. You're not sure what they're going to be, and I think there is some fear. You're making mountains out of molehills, I want to say. But just remember, it's just because it's dark and you can't see, and that's okay. You're not supposed to when it's nighttime. The daytime will come, clarity will come, and you will see where you're supposed to be. But you got to trust the journey. I love the Moon card. There's so much symbolism in this card, but too much to get into for now. But I will say that I see you really moving on a path where you're looking at your self-identity and you're facing certain aspects of yourself that maybe you haven't faced in a while, or you are learning to re-identify yourself. And it's a major shift, a major transformation, but ultimately it's you taking charge of your life, setting the right boundaries, making the right choices, and ultimately it's going to get you in a very, very, like, a secure spot, not just, financially or whatever, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You're going to feel that sense of confidence and self-worth. But you have to go through this process first of eliminating whatever is within you that you think about yourself or feel about yourself, or again, this sense of melancholy here with the Four of Cups. Like whatever hasn't been working for you, getting rid of it and starting new is really good for you. Just remember to listen to your heart as well. Okay, let me just shuffle here. I want to look at the High Priestess with the tarot cards here. Despair, thought, and sweetheart. So it takes a desperate situation, and it can be just desperate boredom even for some of you. But it takes a desperate situation for you to really sit down and ask yourself these tough questions about what do I want? What makes me happy? What am I passionate about? Where can I apply myself? Finding what makes you happy. This is on the High Priestess. This is about what's internal, what's going on within you, what you're trying to secretly manifest, or what you're trying to secretly consider. I want to look at the Nine of Pentacles, Old Woman, Enemy, and Soldier. So definitely with the Old Woman, a sense of maturing, growing up. No matter what your age, there was a sense of going through a major life lesson and completing it successfully, and now it's on to something new. There is a message here on the Nine of Pentacles to not look back and not try to question everything that's been, but soldier forward, move on, okay? And it's when you move on and you make that commitment mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to move on and not look back, because you're being your own worst enemy when you're looking back in the past, okay? When you make that commitment to move forward, that's when you find success and fulfillment. Let me look at the Moon. I think you're afraid of somebody stealing your joy, for one. I think that for some of you, you have made prior commitments that now you're worried they're not going to come through, or they're not going to work, or there's going to be some type of, bump in the road in your relationships. And I think you're afraid to really chase what you're passionate about because you're afraid of failure. And I think if you really sit and ponder what you want and why you're not going after it, that ultimately is the bottom line, is fear. There's a fear of failure here with the Moon card. Don't be afraid of failure. First of all, we all face small failures in our life. It's a part of life. I'm sorry, you can't get by without it. That's why we all can be graced with a little sense of humility, because honestly, none of us are perfect. And second of all, the worst decision you can make is a decision based out of fear. That will always be the wrong decision. So if you go back and forth on something, the wrong decision is the one that says, I don't want to do this because I'm afraid. Okay? So that's what I have for the general reading, guys. Let's go ahead and look at what's going on for love for single Geminis. What are the love messages for single Geminis in the month of October 2020? All right. Strength. Seven of Cups, Two of Swords, King of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, Six of Swords. Bottom of the deck, overall energy is the Five of Rods. So let me just look this over for a minute, guys. Let's see what the messages are here. Well, we have two fours, we have two eights. So there's a strong message about stability here. Something about instability or a desire to be stable. So we have the Six of Cups, which fell out while I was shuffling. The Six of Cups, typically in a love reading, talks about a returning love, or it talks about us returning to a sense of innocence in love. Being childlike, playful, innocent. I think for a lot of you though, now remember this is a general reading, so if you want something that applies specifically to you, you're always welcome to request a private reading, and that information will be below in the information box. But As a general reading, I have to say for some of you, I feel like somebody hasn't let go of you. This could be somebody who's a fire sign. So I have a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Doesn't have to be a fire sign, but they could embody these characteristics of a King of Wands male, or could be a female too. I'm seeing a strong Leo because we have strength above this King of Wands. But I want to say that this is a very immature person. I think that they let their passions or their emotions sometimes maybe get the better of them. And I feel like it may be that you're not quite sure where you stand with this individual, but you're holding on to the hope that there's something there for the two of you. So this could be someone from your past that you've already said goodbye to, but for some reason you're still holding on to and you're hoping for their return. Or this could be somebody that is within your, your circle. Um, and they're someone that maybe you have a lot of fun with. They're very playful, very fun energy to be around. But at the same time, there's this feeling of uncertainty about where you stand and how you can proceed in this relationship. I feel like for a lot of you, where it comes to this being an ex, this has been your inability to let that person go or their inability to let you go. And this month, I think that there is going to be like a final goodbye. I kind of feel like if you're the one holding on to them, you haven't had communication with this person. And I think you've been waiting. And a part of you has wanted to let go, and you're like, should I let go? And what if they come back? A part of you is still kind of holding on. But look, at the end of the month, you're saying goodbye. You understand the situation for what it is. Once you understand that you're holding on to something it's not moving anywhere, it's stagnant, okay? And all this person does is cause confusion and mental anxiety, um, because they're not the type to maybe commit. I sense, again, some sense of immaturity in them or some type of temper. But I see that, again, you're letting them go for certain this month. Now, for others of you, for those of you where this is someone who maybe is wanting to get back with you from your past, be careful because I kind of feel like there's going to be some arguing or a disagreement between you and this person. And just know that you're only responsible for you. You're not responsible for the other person and how they feel, okay? You are only responsible for you and your reaction. So if you don't want to give this person the time of day, you don't have to, which I kind of feel like you've been doing, is avoiding them. And you may just say at the very end of the month or however, whenever you decide, leave me alone. And the way that you say it, I think, comes across in a way that this person finally understands I need to just leave them alone. Okay? And then, again, for others of you where this is somebody maybe in around you, I feel like, okay, for some of you, I feel like you know someone, maybe there's an attraction there and you're hoping it's reciprocated, but there's competition because there's other people who are just as interested or that he's already dating or she's already dating. And I think by the end of the month, you decide to leave this person alone and just, count your losses and just move on. And then for others of you, this could be somebody in your inner circle who has something for you and has been pretty quiet about it up until, I don't know, but it doesn't look like they say anything. They face some kind of conflict and they don't actually get around to opening their mouth and telling you, like, this is how I feel. So there's a bunch of different scenarios here. Remember, general reading doesn't have to apply to you at all, or if it does, sorry, I can't talk tonight. Take what resonates. There we go. Let me look at the Four of Pentacles in the very center. Yeah. I think for a lot of you, this is somebody you've already said goodbye to. And I think that they've been, because we have the Scholar, Widower, and Lord cards, so it's almost like they've been watching you almost on like social media or something, maybe asking around about you, friends or whatever. And then the Lord card here is it's a male, so I think a lot of you, this could be for a female dealing with a male or a male dealing with another male, where we're seeing someone holding on. And if you're a Gemini male, it may be you holding on. If you are, holding on to a female ex, let's look at the Five of Rods. Yeah. I think whatever this person has to say to you from the past, I don't think it's well received from you. It looks like they try to come in and be very charming or whatnot, but this being on the Five of Rods, it just kind of tells me you're not interested in hearing from this person and you'd be having to, fight them off. Look at the Six of Cups. Yeah, this is somebody coming up, pleasant surprise, merchant, and sweetheart. So for some of you, maybe this is a love that you want to hear from. Maybe this is, again, for some of you, this is someone you're holding on to. Maybe this Five of Wands for some of you is representing an internal conflict about whether or not you should reciprocate or if you should write to that person or try to communicate with that person. I'm going to look at the Eight of Swords. I want to know why mentally you just feel kind of stuck. So I don't know if you have fear that you won't be well received, or if there is that's their fear here. But for some of you, I think that maybe you won't be happy to hear from someone, but some of you, I feel like you will be. Because we have both Enemy and Fortune card here, and the Doctor, which talks about healing a relationship. I will say this. I think for some of you, like I said in the beginning of the reading, there's some of you who you want to reconnect with a fire sign, but there's a lot of immaturity in this male. I don't think they're able to give you what you want. I think you're better off leaving this behind. You think it's a fortunate thing to gain this person, but actually, I don't know. I just don't think they're all there that you think they are. And the same thing goes if this is you holding on to someone from your past who's a fire sign. I think you kind of like, I don't know, maybe some of you it's a good thing. Maybe some of you, I could say this is probably you right now, where some of you are choosing to be with this person, and then some of you are like, you know what, that was a horrible relationship and I am not going back there. Let me look at the Six of Swords. So if you had any hope in this relationship that returned, or this partner that returns, or that you're hoping will return, I think it's shortly, shot down here with the despair and the falseness card. That's why we have the Six of Swords, which represents moving on. Because you're realizing that really is false hope. This person doesn't have anything to offer you, or there's so much competition, or he's already with somebody else. So I just don't see that panning out this month, guys. So that's what I have for single Gemini. And if it's someone from your past, guys, there's plenty of fish in the sea. The whole month doesn't have to be shocked because of one person, You want to go out there and meet somebody, make it happen. So let's look at what's going on for a couple of Geminis. Sorry guys, my phone. Ooh. Alright guys, we're ready. We have the World, Three of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Queen of Wands, Ten of Cups, Five of Swords, Six of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Star. Overall energy for your reading at the bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups, and the Knight of Cups fell out as I was shuffling. So, let me look this over. Oh my goodness. So this is what I see for you guys. Those of you who are together in a relationship, and I want to say for majority of you, this is somebody who maybe they have fire in their chart. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, somewhere significant in their chart, Or it could just be that you or your partner are embodying the characteristics of this Queen of Wands. Okay, she's a very passionate woman. She's very creative. She's very intuitive. We see that with the black cat here. She's very driven, and she's a go-getter. She will fight for what she wants. Okay, and right here we see that she's very passionate about her family, about her home, about the happiness of her family and her home. That's what this Ten of Cups is. All cups are filled. Everybody's happy. Everybody's having a good time. Um, I think that you have been with the World card above and the Six of Swords below this Queen. I'm kind of feeling like this Queen is embodying your energy, Gemini. So whether you're male or female, I feel like this is representing your energy, and I feel like this is talking about you've ended some major shift, right? We're moving into some new energy. We're leaving something behind. We're moving into calmer, peaceful times in our relationship. There's more collaboration. There's more give and take in relationships. There's more, I want to say, appreciation for one another in your relationships in the month of Earth. But I feel you're really focused on the happiness of your entire home. I feel like you and your partner are certainly reconnecting this month. This is a great month to restore the passion with the Knight of Cups in your relationship. It's almost like starting fresh because we've ended a major cycle, so now it's time to start new, right? And it's like we're starting new in our romance and our relationships. There's only one thing here, Gemini, that I have to tell you, and that is don't steal your own joy. Because I see you stealing your own joy. It's almost like you're so afraid things are going to go wrong, or you're going to make the wrong choice, or you're going to do the wrong thing, and you're going to mess it all up. You're stealing your own joy. I also want to say take time out for yourself and be selfish. Be selfish. I feel like some of you are just focused really strongly on family this month and making everyone happy, but also take this time for yourself because what you will end up doing is you will spend so much time focusing on your family and their wants and their needs. You're not going to take time out for yourself. That's what this Five of Swords is saying. And instead of doing that, what's going to happen is you're going to burn yourself out. And then you're going to say, well, it's because I have all these responsibilities. It's because I have these kids. It's because I have this husband. It's because I have this job. It's because I have to take care of this house. It's because of this and that. Whatever it be, because when all these cups are filled, that means everybody's happy. The home is well kept. Everybody's taken care of. You're doing that. But you're not taking the time out for yourself, and you need to consider what makes you happy. Every day, take time out for yourself. Find out what makes you happy. This is going to restore you on a personal level, and it's also going to help you restore your relationship. Because how do you know how to take care of somebody else or love somebody else when you're having a hard time doing that for yourself? You're putting all your focus on your family because you don't want to have to face those issues. Well, this month you're going to have to, because otherwise you're feeling stagnant. You're feeling stuck. And this is why you're feeling stuck. It's because you're not willing to face what you need to face and say, okay, I really need to focus on me. Time to make it about me. Stop making it about everybody else. They have their time and I have time to please and serve and whatever with them, but I also have me time. That's very important this month. That's going to help you, again, restore your romantic relationship. Let's look at the Ten of Cups with these Gypsy Oracle cards. Yeah. Falseness, Doctor, and Reunion. With the Falseness card coming up on the Ten of Cups and the Doctor and the Reunion card, I feel like this is, again, talking about you making this more about your family than it is about you. You're lying to yourself and you're stealing from yourself and you're stealing your own joy when you make it about everybody else and you don't take time out for yourself. And what's going to happen is you're eventually going to need healing. Okay? You're going to need a complete time out. So this is about, I want to say, acknowledging yourself and your independence in your relationship and finding your own sense of joy and happiness so that you can have this kind of connection with your partner. And you want to heal yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Heal yourself. This is what this time is about for you. You've been given this opportunity, this time, to, yeah, obviously love your family, spend time with your family, but also to love and appreciate and work on yourself and build that sense of family for yourself, starting with you. I'm going to look at the Five of Swords. Yeah, see? Five of Swords is about shallow victories. You know, when you help your family, it's a victory, but it's a shallow victory because honestly, some of this stuff, you know, they can do for themselves. You're overexhausting yourself for what? Just to appease everybody? So because you're so committed, you're the wife, you're the mother, you're whatever, you overwork yourself, pleasure seekers, you're looking to please everybody. The sweetheart is you. It's reminding you, you know, come back to you. What makes you happy? Is this really making you happy going around and pleasing everybody just because of your commitments? What about you? Look at you. You're beautiful. You have so much to offer. Let's work on that. Let's not work on just serving everybody else. Let's take some time out to be a little selfish. The Star. The Star is all about hope, okay? Having hope, knowing things are going in the right direction. Coming out of despair, knowing there's a pleasant surprise here. I think that with the despair card, it's about you working on your own fears. And then the messenger is, there's positivity. There's a good message coming in with both the pleasant surprise card and the messenger card. And these coming up on the Star card, I mean, that's promised good luck, pretty much. Just don't let your fears, doubts, worries get the better of you with this despair card, okay? You got to work on that because there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot more in store for you, but it's about, you know, you got to face your inner demons. You got to work on you first before you can go anywhere else. Otherwise, you stay stagnant, okay? That's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Much blessings, love and light to you and yours. Remember that I'm offering a special on private readings if you're interested. I'll post that information in the information box below. And I will see you in Halloween again. Bye, guys.